To this week's video where I'm talking about bed linen, and in particular white linen. As I mentioned in the video, which is linked below last week, I'm a huge advocate of how if you're wealthy or you have additional disposable income, it needs to touch every aspect of your life and not just your outward appearance, so the clothes you wear, your accessories, your watch, your shoes, your handbag and so forth, but every aspect of your life. So the house you live in, how you furnish it, the brands, the food you eat, where you go on holiday, how you go on holiday and so forth. And I particularly work with a lot of people who are new to money, and they come to me and say, you know, I'm new to money, I'd like somebody to educate me and teach me about what is out there. I'd like to make purchases based on an enlightened decision and not just what everybody else is doing. And one that I get a lot of inquiries from, particularly from people who are about mid-40s and above, is linen. And I remember a particular client who came to me and said, there's a particular set I've been using and I can't remember the brand, where I bought it or what happened, but all I know is that it feels like I'm sleeping on butter every time I sleep on it. And this particular brand was actually Pretezi, but Pretezi has since gone bust. But in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of brands, a mid-luxe and then a brand at the very top end. I'm also going to sneak in a third brand, but I'll do a separate video another time on this particular brand that's right at the top. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I manage a luxury lifestyle management business in London. My content is educationally focused and geared towards people who are typically new to money or keen to explore alternate mid-luxe or super brands that are a little low-key but still weighted on quality. And in particular, I'm a very big advocate, again, of buying better, buy less. If you buy the very best you can afford or the best in that category, it means that you're buying less of that product and your cost per wear or cost per usage comes down. Buying cheap products becomes very expensive in the long run because you're always replacing them. And so I'm a very big fan from the onset, just buy the best you can afford. And that'll come through in all the recommendations that I'll be making. And today, as I mentioned, I'll be talking about white linen because I get quite a number of inquiries. And it's something that when I talk with other clients and friends, linen is a big thing, and particularly white linen, which I like, and I know a lot of other people do like as well. But there are three things I'd just like to highlight very quickly that you need to consider when you're making a purchase. They are the material of the linen you're going to go for, the weave, and also the thread count. Those three are very important. With one or the other, it just doesn't work. People are big on thread count, but thread count, you need to know what material is there and also how it's woven. So the cotton, first of all, at a very minimum, I always recommend Egyptian cotton. And Egyptian cotton, that's because of the quality of it. It's soft, it's comfortable, it's durable. And that's because the fiber, the cotton fiber that's used to spin the yarn, they typically go for something that's long. And it's called staple. The fiber is called staple, but a long staple. So the longer it is, the better it is in terms of spinning yarn that's finer, it's softer, and it's stronger. And in turn weaves a very comfortable, very durable sheet. So that is something you need to consider, Egyptian cotton at a minimum. And the other two that I'd recommend, they tend to be at the top end of the market, they're pricier, and it's Sea Island cotton. Sea Island cotton, again, it's the long staple, and it's cotton that's grown largely in America and also the Caribbean, Jamaica, Antigua, and Barbados. Barbados actually grows and produces some of the best Sea Island cotton. Sea Island cotton is actually also used for men's shirts. So brands like Zegna or Stefano Ricci, you will see Sea Island cotton shirts at the very top end of their ranges. And then the other one, which is the absolute pinnacle, also grown in Egypt, like Egyptian cotton, it's called Giza. And Giza is specifically grown very close to the Nile. And this particular type of cotton is very, very soft and it's very light. And that is what you're buying into when you buy into the Giza 45. So those three things, and then you need to consider the weave of the actual fabric. So there are three weaves actually that I highly recommend. There's the two that most people know, percale and sateen. The percale is the sheets that are smooth. They're not smooth. They're cool and crisp. They're fairly breathable, and they're very good for hot countries because of the breathable nature and the coolness. They're very comfortable. And then the others are sateen. They're much warmer. They're less breathable, and they are smooth. They're very silky, soft sheets. And then the other weave is jacquard, but jacquard tends to be the decorative design. It's very expensive, but it's beautiful, absolutely exquisite. There's some great designs out there. And then the third thing you need to consider is the thread count, which a lot of people rave about, but thread count needs to be in tandem with the weave and also the material that the cotton is made from. And the thread count is the number of threads running vertically, horizontally within a square inch of the fabric. So the more the threads, the higher the thread count, and therefore the softer, the more comfortable, and also heavier the sheet. And so those are the three things that you need to consider. And I tend to go for sheets that are around the 400 to 1,000 thread count. And so my two recommendations, mid-luxe, there's a brand that I cannot recommend enough, particularly if you want something that's just mid-luxe and that's what you're going to stay with, something that's going to introduce you to the industry. It's the White Company. The White Company started off by selling linen that was just white, and then they've diversified over time to include neutral linen and homeware products as well in beige and grey, and also loungewear and sleepwear, should I say. So the White Company, and there are two ranges within the White Company. They're most popular. There's the Savoy, which is the percale, 400 thread count. And as an example, based on 4 standard pillowcases, a fitted sheet, and a Super King duvet cover, you're looking at about £400 for an entry-level Savoy. And that is the percale. And then moving to Cavendish, which is their sateen, and that's a whopping 800 thread count. And again, for the 4 pillowcases, fitted sheet, duvet cover, it's going to be around £850, £900. And then moving up from that is my brand at the top in terms of just specifically white linen. It's either the White Company, and the one at the top is a company called Peter Reed. And Peter Reed is a company that just specializes in white. They don't do anything else but just beautiful white linen. They have their entry-level Egyptian cotton, and then at the very top end they do Sea Island. And you're looking at prices of their entry level. It's the Helmshore, and that's 400 thread count, slightly more expensive than the White Company, £600 for the same variables. And then their mid-range is called the Pendle, and that's 600 thread count, and that is going to set you back about £900, same price as the White Company, top of the range Cavendish. And then at the top end, the 1,000 thread count, which is their Lancaster, that's going to set you back £1,900. And then their Sea Island cotton is going to set you back £5,000. What are you paying for? You're paying for the quality, you're paying for the brand, the heritage. Peter Reed is a company that has a royal warrant from Her Majesty the Queen of England. And there's that automatic prestige and quality associated with that warrant. But you're buying very much into the quality of that. You also have the flexibility of someone like Peter Reed to get your crests, your family crests or initials put on that. You can monogram your linen from them, and it's just the quality you're buying. And if you look after your linen, and when I say look after, I mean don't use bleach that's going to break down the fibers of your sheets, drying them appropriately, and also changing them regularly and looking after your sheets and how you wash them, you're going to get easily 40 to 50 years wear from those sheets. So if you're spending, let's say, £6,000 on a below the budget linen set, that's £6,000 divided by, let's say you're using it for 12 weeks of the year, you're alternating it with 3 other sets. That is 12 weeks over 30 years. It's just over £10 cost per usage, versus if you're buying something new every year, so £250, and you're using it quite regularly, it's well over £6,000 by the time you get to 30 years. And of course the comfort, how you feel sleeping in those sheets, you cannot compare something that's £250 versus £6,000. The two just don't go together. But I'm going to sneak in a brand so you just know what's at the top end, what is out there, what you can aspire to, what maybe you can afford. It comes in at a whopping $6,500. Fitted sheet, 4 standard pillowcases, and a Super King duvet cover. It's from a brand called Celso de Lemos. It's Portuguese. They deal in linen at the very top end of the market, and they have just recently launched Giza 45 sheets, and it's a linen set. It's called Amanda, and it only comes in white. It is deliciously soft. It's super light. It's super soft. It just could not get any more tantalizing than this in terms of just sleeping. You're like sleeping on a cloud. It's sensational. If you were to win the lottery and come to me and ask me to help you make the right purchases, this is what I'd recommend for your house and what you'd kit all your bedrooms out in. As always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe.